Hey guys, so today I want to do a quick video on how I estimate my hardscape jobs. So I talked in a couple previous videos about how I thought there's a lot of really misleading videos on YouTube when it comes to not only installation techniques but estimating techniques, and so I thought it was really important that I get this video out because there's a lot of people that are being misled. So I just want to go through my estimating, how I estimate my hardscape jobs, just show you guys how I do things. Not saying any of it is completely right, this is just what works for me. So if you disagree with anything, that's totally fine, but the big thing that I want to point out, and I'll just start this off by saying this, is you should not be estimating your hardscape jobs by the square foot. If you're estimating by the square foot and it's working for you, great. I am going to be shocked if there's too many people out there like that, but it's just too hard to estimate by the square foot when every single job has different conditions, whether it be your soil conditions. Some jobs you're going to only have to excavate 8 inches, where some you're going to have to excavate a couple feet, so that affects your base prep, your trucking, which is obviously your man hours, and not only site conditions, but site access is huge too. If you're running your equipment around a house, if you can't back your truck right up to where you're excavating, you have to use a skid steer right there. I mean, that's a ton of extra hours, and just estimating by the square foot just does not work. Maybe on smaller jobs like walkways where you have normal access and they're usually the same, great. But so the way I do things is I estimate based on labor functions with my hourly rate. And if any of you are ICPI certified, NCMA certified, you probably have already kind of learned this a little bit. So I got ICPI and NCMA certified 3 or 4 years ago while I was in college, and my teacher, Bill Gardocki, who is an ICPI and NCMA certified instructor, taught my classes. He's owner of Interstate Landscape and Dirt Ninja's father. So they are an extremely efficient company and do things by the book. They're super tight with their estimating and their job tracking, and so that's kind of where I've learned all this and incorporated it into my business, and it's worked amazingly. Every job that I have done on my own so far, I have made out as good or better than I estimated. So I actually have a little blurb of Interstate's kind of smaller estimate sheet right here, which I will scan and put above quickly. So basically what you do is you just break down your estimating on your labor functions. So labor functions are things such as excavation. So how many hours, man hours, will it take you to excavate? Base prep. So I include base prep as putting in your new soil, your new gravel, stone, whatever you use, your compaction, your geosynthetic fabric if you use it. Things like sand screeding. So how long does it take you to lay your pipes down, screed your sand out? Laying pavers, cutting your pavers, putting your border in, doing your edge restraint, poly sand, things like that. And it's the same for whether it be walls, water features, outdoor kitchens, whatever it is. It's the same concept. You just come up with your labor functions. And so basically what you're doing is you're estimating the time that it'll take to do each labor function. So in breaking things down, especially the way I do it, I really break things down, and I'll kind of throw up at least the first page of my estimate form to see how I break my labor functions down. But the more you break things down, the easier it's going to be to estimate, especially when it comes to really big jobs. When you're when you're on a job with 3 or 4 guys for a month, that's a lot of man hours, and that's where you lose money too. So if you can break things down, you're a lot more likely to make money on that job. So then when it comes to the actual material side of it, I kind of have a similar system. I'm just really picky when it comes to my measurements. So when I estimate a job, I'm getting every single grade that I know I'll need, exact measurements. So then when I go to estimate my material, I am spot on, so I know exactly how much gravel to bring to a site, how much I'm going to be hauling out because I'm charging to get rid of that material. And then not only time, so if you're screwing up on your estimating for material, if you're short, not only are you going to spend more money on the material, but you're going to spend more money paying your guys to truck in that extra material and take out the extra material that was excavated. So basically what I do once I have my labor price and I have my material prices, I put them together. So then I kind of have like almost my final price. Then what I do is I multiply my targeted profit margin for the year, by that number. So whether you be aiming for 5%, 10%, 15, whatever it is, you multiply that final number by your profit, your aimed profit, and that should give you your final job cost. So that should be everything, that money, that should be your everything that's going to cover your overhead, your profit, you paying yourself. So some of you might be wondering where this hourly rate comes from, and that's for another day. It's a little complicated, but basically what your hourly rate should be is what you need to make per man hour to cover your expenses, your overhead. So anything that's overhead, like your office expenses, your phone, your truck payments, equipment payments, your rent, your lease, whatever you have, all that stuff, your salary if you're on salary, and all your guys' hourly rates. And so basically what you do is you take all that, and it's kind of like a big equation, you put it all together, and you come up with your hourly rate. And if you're hitting your marks throughout the year, you should cover all your overhead and your expenses, and then anything on top of that is your profit. So I know TechoBlock came out with a kind of like program on Excel that helps you figure that out. It's super simple. You just put in your numbers and it will tell you your hourly rate. So I'll try to find the link for that and put that somewhere, whether it be in the description or above. So check that out if you're looking to change. Maybe you're doing things by the square foot and you need to figure out your hourly rate. Check that out because it really makes things easy. So you want to be your hourly rate's going to change every year based on your expenses. So you need to make sure every year you're redoing your hourly rate. So this is just how I do things, guys, and none of these forms or anything are set in stone. You can come up with your own system, but just the fact that you estimate by hourly rates your labor functions is the key, not your square foot price. You can use that as a really rough estimate, but never put that in writing. So just a little side blurb, which I'm going to talk about in another video, which will kind of be on how to be confident in your estimating and things you can do to make sure that when you estimate, you're estimating how you should be. You are going to be confident in knowing that you're going to make money on each job. But I started job tracking, which I never even knew job tracking was a thing until I started going to UNH. And so basically what I do is when I'm on a job or I have a guy running a job, throughout the day I have them fill out basically my estimate sheet it's basically the same step as my estimate sheet with just a bunch of blocks, and they fill in how long it took them that day to do every single labor function. So when the job's done, I have a whole sheet that tells me this is how many hours it took them compared to how many you estimated. So then when I go to estimate jobs in the future, I have, I know what it takes my guys to do a certain labor function, which makes it really easy to estimate. It makes, what it takes for your guys to do things, so you can be confident that you're going to make money on every job. So hopefully you guys all follow this. Hopefully you guys agree. If you don't, I'm open to hear what you guys think. Comment below. I am planning on doing a few more of these kind of consulting videos in the future. Someone asked me to do kind of like a video on the whole job sales process. So from kind of the initial phone call all the way to the end of the job. So I'm going to kind of walk you guys through that. I'm going to do a bunch of videos this summer on actual installation videos, how to do things. Because there's a lot of misleading installation videos on YouTube too. So just kind of different stuff like that. trying to think of what a couple of the others were. I have them written down. So I'm going to do, I'm going to do a video on kind of the common industry mistakes, hardscape mistakes, things that are very commonly mistaken, they're done wrong. So I'm going to do that video probably pretty soon. The job sales process I'm going to do. Keys to being confident in your estimating, which is going to kind of go more in depth with the job tracking. And also, I got asked to do a video on how to upsell different elements. So, water features, outdoor kitchens, fire pits, fireplaces, sitting walls, lighting, that kind of stuff. So those are all going to be kind of coming out throughout the winter. Come springtime, I'm going to do the how-tos as far as actually installing elements. So stay tuned for those guys, but let me know what you guys think. If you have any suggestions, things you want to see, things you want to know about how we do, just comment below and I'd be happy to make some videos on those. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.